Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about UFC 307's main event, the one that's going to take place in the light heavyweight division for the light heavyweight belt between, obviously, light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira and challenger Khalil Rountree. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel. Your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. The light heavyweight in the UFC is not necessarily the deepest division in the UFC. Greatest example of that is Khalil Rountree getting a title shot. With all respect to Khalil here, but none of his last 5 wins came against top 10 contenders. If I'm not mistaken, none of his last 5 opponents were top 10 contenders. So, with that being said, obviously the guy has had 4 or 5 wins in a row, whatever it is at this point. 5 or 6 wins in a row. It's between 4 and 6. And, just when we thought the Ankalaev fight was the next fight for Alex Pereira, if he was to stay in that light heavyweight division, we get a curveball in Khalil Rountree, out of all people, is the next challenger for that light heavyweight title. Very interesting matchup. I cannot necessarily say that this is the UFC's way of trying to protect Alex Pereira, because I would not imagine that the Khalil Rountree fight is an easy fight. Whoever thought that this would be an easy fight, I think they would have to reconsider that thought. There are no easy fights, obviously, in the UFC. So many different angles I can approach this fight from. First and foremost, obviously, just the sheer fact that Khalil Rountree just kind of caught everybody by surprise when everybody thought that Ankalaev was the next fighter up next for Alex Pereira. Ankalaev apparently has to get through one more name before he gets to the title. I don't want to say Ankalaev is being overlooked. I don't want to say the UFC is kind of being unfair to Ankalaev. It's just perhaps the UFC is favoring the more veteran out of the 2 fighters, the fighter that's actually spent more time in the UFC. I would like to think that that's what it is. I do understand that Alex Pereira is perhaps the most marketable character out of all 3. So it's very suitable for the UFC that Alex Pereira stays champion of that division. Big name every single time Alex Pereira fight. It's a spectacle. He's fought so much ever since he's been in the UFC. He's fought so much this year. And UFC 307 is perhaps going to be his last fight. More than likely, this will be his last fight of the year, 2024. Against a respectable opponent in the form of Rountree. But like I said before, in other divisions, the likes of the, let's say, the bantamweight division, the lightweight division, and I think the deepest division in the UFC, I think currently is the featherweight division. Those divisions, the names are pretty stacked. And what separates the names is there's very small margins that separate the guys, let's say, at the top 8 of that featherweight division. So the matchups are pretty much self-explanatory, and there aren't any ways around them. For example, Ilia Topuria has Max Holloway. They also have a guy in the name of Alexander Volkanovski waiting in the sidelines. That division has a Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, Cater. It has a new addition to it, former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. We have the new Ultimate Fighter winner, Santos, who looked highly impressive in his Ultimate Fighter finale. Very, very impressive indeed. That guy has a bright future. Only 24 years old. Looked a lot like Anderson Silva in his performance fight night, where he won the Ultimate Fighter Championship. We have also a new addition, the guy in the name of Bruno Silva, whose last fight was at lightweight. Perhaps his next fight is going to be at featherweight again. Also, we have Diego Lopez, and so many other names. So what I'm trying to say is that some divisions, the competition stacked all the way up to the ceiling. And all the fights are pretty much self-explanatory. Topuria, Holloway. Perhaps the winner of that fight gets to face Volkanovski. We also have Brian Ortega against Diego Lopez coming up. Similar rankings. And so on, So all of it is pretty much self-explanatory, goes in order, but in divisions like the heavyweight division and the light heavyweight division, that's not quite the case. Not quite the case. I mean, greatest example of that is Khalil Rountree, with all respect to Rountree here, getting a title shot against Alex Pereira, when everybody thought that Ankalaev was the next fighter for that light heavyweight title. I'm not saying that this is unfair or unjust to anybody in any sort of way. I don't think so. I believe that Khalil Rountree has spent more time in the UFC than Ankalaev, if I'm not mistaken. And, the guy has like 5-6 wins in a row. I do understand that none of those wins came against top 10 contenders, but he's had 5 or 6 wins in a row nonetheless. He has had some controversy in the past. I don't want to go into that. Obviously, guys are being tested at this point. At this point, they're clean. I don't think that matters much heading into a fight against Alex Pereira. I disagree with people that think that the Rountree fight is going to be like a highlight reel for Alex Pereira. Matter of fact, I think this is actually going to be a tough fight. Despite the fact that Khalil Rountree expressed disinterest in wrestling against Alex Pereira, which would be very effective against the kickboxer, naturally. The kickboxer. Alex Pereira, when he's taken down, does not fight it. He actually just kind of lays down and kills the round, and he doesn't really fight it when he's on the ground, so to say. Takedown defense, I don't know about Alex Pereira's takedown defense. Let's say it's decent. Hasn't really been tested, in all honesty. That being said, it could be deceiving. Statements from Khalil Rountree. He said that he hasn't shot for a takedown, or he hasn't attempted to wrestle in the UFC thus far. And he doesn't plan to start doing so against Alex Pereira. There could be some reverse psychology going there, some manipulation tactics. You could see Rountree shoot for takedowns. Never know. But if this fight was to stay standing, then it's going to be a fight that's worth watching for sure. And any one of these guys land a punch on the other, the fight's going to be over sooner than later. I mean, Alex Pereira lands that hook. It's night for Rountree, and Rountree lands a significant shot. It's night for Pereira. So whoever thinks that this is going to be like somehow an easy fight for Pereira, it's not going to be the case. I don't think, obviously, every fighter has a fighter's chance. And also we have, we have to kind of respect the fact that many people were caught by surprise, but I don't think that it's wise to say that Khalil Rountree is somehow an easy fight for Alex Pereira. I don't agree with these statements. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more.